Hey guys, Mike Pattern Traders. It is August 4th on a Sunday. Um, Fresh chart. Nothing changed from my previous analysis regarding BTC. I was expecting 67, 68 into a short. We wicked up to I think 70,000 and change, but ideally, when you have something similar to this, where is it? The 3 day. When you have something similar to this, where you get a breakup structure, guys, I broke my right arm, so I'm kind of using my left. It's kind of hard for me to draw. Bear with the bad squigglies. So when you have something along the lines of this, where you break structure over here, and then you go back up to retest, and you have a high time frame order block, which is a bearish order block, more likely than not, with the oscillators looking the way they were looking, it's going to be a short and a dump. It's exactly what we're doing right now. Still standing with my bias that we are going to break this particular low. We should get a bounce relatively soon at 58, give or take, which would give us a third tap. Your first, your second, your third, into a move back up. I don't think that we're going to get a significant move above 65,000, right? So it's going to be pretty much somewhere around this area. Again, sorry for the squigglies, guys. I cannot use the left hand mouse. Into a for the downside, anywhere between 48,000 and 50,000, 51 around there. The reason why I'm gun-ho about this, and I've been speaking about it for the last couple of weeks, is because this 2 week histo hasn't fired. This is the first time, this 2 week candle is the first time, which started July 29th, that we are getting a histo fire, which is orange. We haven't had one in probably since the last one we had was April 25th of 2022, right? So 2 years ago, we haven't had a histo, a bearish histo fire. It's the first one we're getting. You can't reset oscillators without getting a histo fire. So if I get rid of all these particular plots, just to give you a better idea before we start talking about price action, once you do a breakout, this is your breakout, right? You go from the zero line and you go up. Once you get above the zero line, which is a bullish zero line, it's green, and you start forming ascending histos, you need to get a histo fire to reset oscillators. And this is the first one. So anyone telling you to buy the dip without having a weekly or a 2 week, ideally I want to work with a 2 week because this was a major top. Without getting a 2 week histo fire, you're literally going to be buying the dip for weeks and weeks at a time until we actually stop dipping, right? So I have not allocated any cash. The only thing I'm buying right now currently is CRV. I've stated it in Discord. CRV is probably going to be the only thing I'm going to add and be comfortable with down cost averaging, because it got destroyed. It got really destroyed, man. Like whatever happened prior to the liquidation run for the founder. Let me get rid of this. Hold on. Further proves my point that, here we go, that for CRV we could potentially be entering a deviation trap before the main breakout. So I'm not talking about fundamentals. I'm not talking about anything regarding this cryptocurrency. I'm not sure about what the fundamentals are. I don't really care about the fundamentals, but let me just draw this as neatly as possible. Okay, so this channel broke to the downside, which should be a clear indication that we're about to accumulate in this red box with a breakout target of $1.80 or $1.70. Once we get above this particular line, the reason why I'm focusing on CRV is because, guys, we're at that point in this cycle right now that there's going to be selective pumps, given the fact that previous altcoins did not pump or move, right? So once we get above this particular blue line over here, I'll make this blue so we get an idea of what we're working with. I'll go back to BTC in a couple of minutes. 1 second. Once we get above this blue line at like 50 cents, likelihood we are going to go, even if we go for one more dip down, we're going straight for that up there. These particular highs have a lot of liquidity tied to them. They're clean. I'll make these pink because I'm a pink type of guy. There we go. I know this is kind of slow. It's kind of hard to do this with the left hand. Okay. even though that got taken, it's okay. So these particular highs have a lot of liquidity. I'm gonna keep accumulating in this red box. There's no stop loss. If I'm wrong and this thing free falls down to like 10 cents, I'm gonna eat the loss. I'm gonna hold it until we can revert back to the top side. But this is one particular altcoin that I'm generally adding as we go. So keep that in mind for shitcoin plays. Now regarding BTC, I had stated in the past that we're likely going to go to the 67, 68K range and potentially make a lower low, right? I still think that this level should hold between 57 and $58,000 for a move back up to at least 64, 65K. In the event that we get above 64, 65,000, we're gonna go for at least April highs, which if I'm not mistaken was, where's April highs? Hold on. April highs were here. April high. April high. Hold on. April high. Let's write this. Bear with me being slow, guys. I'm sorry. It's hard with this freaking hand. Get out of here. Okay, so that is what I'm working with right now. April high will be the target if we can get above that $65,000 range right here. This particular daily bearish order block. I'm playing very relaxed. I'm not eager to join the masses of buying the dips. Daily bearish OB. Get above this, and we're not even going to contest this. We're going to probably shoot right above it and go into that 72K range. But I'm very doubtful about that. Oscillators they don't look good to me for me to say that we have that much gas, right? I just can't see it. Anything could happen, right? Because time could reset us. So I'm not going to try to speak in indefinite modes. And I want you to see one more thing. All right. The 2-day, we had the 2-day crash was over here, right? The Agua Fire. The 2-day is setting up for a very bullish bounce. Once these three kiss on the 2-day and they tap, likelihood we're going to start a new trend to the top side. Just focus on the 2-day. We need to hope that this 2-week histo remains orange and it clicks and it sticks. And then likelihood this is all going to bounce to the top side and give us a legit 2-week over under, which should take roughly about like 3 months to play out. At that point, I will not give financial advice, but I would highly advise myself to get out of the market when you get a 2-week bearish over under. What is a 2-week bearish over under? Something similar to this over here, where everything crossed to the downside. If we do happen to cross over here, which I don't think we will, we're not going to bear crawl this down because it's going to be a big dump. That will bring us to like low 40s, high 30s if this crosses to the downside. We're going to get a bounce, and we're going to go up for a bearish over under. This is your bearish over under. This was your final macro top over here. Let me zoom a little bit more. So if we do happen to get a bearish over under like that, let me delete all this right here. Dude, it's so hard to move this mouse with one hand, man. With my luck. Okay, so if we get this playing out over here and it goes to the top like this with the signal line and the trend line above, get out of the market, guys. Not financial advice, but get out of the market. We're gonna have a major top if that happens. A 2-week over under that's bearish is no joke. You don't want to be holding that. That's gonna be like an 80-90% dump on a lot of altcoins yet again. All right, so back to what the charts was talking about. Hold on. Another thing I want to indicate real quick. Fresh chart, close the order block. You can keep the order block. Oh yeah, this is Labor Day. Keep this in mind, guys. I forgot that I had this drawn out. Let's go back to here. So these particular days are more or less Labor Day closes and opens in the past 4 years rather, since 2020. So it usually shifts a trend. So what I'm thinking is going to take place is we're going to get a dump into a legit trend reversal for September, which should be a beautiful move to the top side. Whether that's going to give us all-time highs or not, I'm expecting it to happen after Labor Day weekend. Last Labor Day weekend we had was a bullish accumulation in 2023, which led to a massive move to the top side. Those who were in it probably made a lot of money, right? 200% move to the top side. The 2022 Labor Day close was a trap into a move to the top side as well. 2021 was also a trap into the top side as well, and 2020 was pretty much a start to the bull trend. So as you could tell, the past 4 years, Labor Day has either led to a trap or just a particular trend reversal. If in the event we do happen to get a small dump back down to like 48, say for example we stop at 58 or 55,000 right now, we go to the top side, we go to 65,000, and then come early September, which is Labor Day, we go back down from 64 65k to like 48,000. That is where I personally think it's risk on again for an all-time high target. That's how I'm going to be playing this. I do have alerts for this particular date. I'm not really going to invest any additional capital other than what I'm looking at to drop into CRV until after Labor Day weekend. And I want to also show you one more thing for, let's do Binance. Okay. All right. So we all know that the 5-day bullish order block is the target for the time being. Okay. I'm going to label this right now. 5-day bullish OB. That is obviously the target. We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks, if not a couple of months. We're looking at between $48,000 and $51,000. I need to see this low get taken. If this low gets taken, I'll feel a lot better with being risk on. I can't see that. I can't fathom that this is the main low right now. That's going to bring us to all-time high. I just can't. It doesn't make any sense to me, especially with the oscillators looking the way they do. In the event that I'm wrong and we stop at $56,000, then it's okay. I'll just risk on once we get above 65k. Okay, so this is the mark that I'm looking at right now. I'll post this in the Discord shortly, right here. If this holds, we're going to target 65k. If not, we're looking at the 5-day bullish order block. Now, there's this quarterly indication that I wanted you guys to see. Let me get rid of, I don't want to see the monthlies. Let me get rid of the monthly. Hold on. And I want you guys to see what happens every time we start a new quarter in this freaking market. Now, I stated in the past that Q2 of 2024 will be distribution or reaccumulation, right? Once you finish Q1, which was the pump up, this particular box was Q1. This was Q1 of 2024. Q1 2024. Once you zoom out, guys, and you actually pay attention to what the charts are offering based off analysis, I mean, it's pretty simple, right? No one could predict movement, but if you just zoom out and just look at it from a quarterly perspective, Q1 was a pump. Q2 is where we kind of either reaccumulated or distributed. This looked a lot like distribution to me because of the oscillators, but again, it's a toss-up. Nobody really knows until the aftermath. No one could predict if this is accumulation or distribution, right? So we consolidated here for the whole quarter of Q2 of 2024. We officially took the quarterly low with the new quarterly open of 2023, right? That was Q2 low. We took it, deviated it, and then we pumped up. Now we have two things that are very pressing. We have the Q2 high, which is the April high, which is intact, has not been taken yet. And then we have the Q1 high, which is as well intact, which we haven't taken yet. That to me leads to one prediction. Whatever move we're having right now that's sending us lower is just to go back up. People are accumulating bags. People are filling their bags. I don't know how low we could possibly go, but the way I see it, based off 2024, our range is officially $38,000 and $73,000. That is the range, guys. This is the range from here to here. In the middle of the quarter, I don't have the particular indicator on this account. The middle of the quarter, basically the yearly mid currently right now, is $56,000. So the median is 56k. As long as we stay above $56,000 on a month-to-month basis, so we don't close under 56,000, we should continue up to all-time highs. That doesn't mean that we can't go under 56k before the monthly close of August or of September, right? So we can go literally down to 48,000 and close the month above 56k and still be crazy bullish. So don't get so honed in on the lower time frame. Zoom out a little bit and see exactly what this price is trying to tell you, right? So we're in Q3 right now of 2024, right? And we just opened up August, which should be right here, August 1st. Boom. Ever since we opened up August, we've been dumping. And I personally think that we're going to end up taking July low. I personally think that July low, the 53K, will get taken, which will give us a deviation of that low for us to be able to buy and head up to April highs and Q1 highs as a target, which is going to lead to all-time highs, right? So currently, right now, the way you should play this, not financial advice, is look what happens to, let's get rid of this. Look what happens to the July high and the July low. What gets taken first? That is your first indication of a shift in structure. July, Jesus, so hard to freaking do this. July low. Okay, that's July low. Let's make it red. Pink. I'm a pink type of guy. All right. Come on, man. It's so hard. All right. July high. That's all I'm looking at right now, guys. Once one of these two gets taken, July high score. Once one of these two liquidity pockets gets taken, then we could start talking about a shift in structure. I just can't see anything happen until either 53 gets taken or 69 gets taken. And honestly, if we're even going near 69,000, there is no way we're not going to go for that April high and the Q1 high. The first quarter of the year always acts like the main range. So until we get enough liquidity on the downside, I can't even see us humor the top side yet, right? So that is all I'm looking at. I'm not complicated. I'm not looking at the 4-hour. I'm not telling you guys that, hey, we're going to keep buying the dips, because if you see these altcoins, guys, I know a lot of influencers have been saying buy the dip. Dude, they've been making lower lows, man. So if you've been buying the dip this whole time, you're probably down multiple 70%. Multiple negative 70% moves. So be careful with that, guys. Wait until BTC pivots, and when BTC pivots, then that is when we could all just start buying the dips, right? That's all I'm looking at. I'm going to post this chart in the Discord so we have it. Pay attention to July low, and then pay attention to July high. Once one of those two gets taken, we could assume that the next trend will start. And keep in mind, September, Q4, always starts a new pivot. And I'm going to show you guys if I... Let's do this. Let's close this out. Open up the quarterly. I'm only going to put the quarterly on so you guys can see it, okay? Quarterly is blue. Quarterly high, quarterly low, okay? Watch what happens every quarter. Let's go back further. Let's go look back years. Let's put 3 years, okay? And we also want the year, so we know exactly where the year started. We don't care about the high lows. We just want the year. We want the year. 2 years. Black is years, by the way, guys. Okay, so let's see now where the hell is the... Did I exit? Oh, here we go. There. Okay. So 2023 Q1. 2023 Q1 start. 2022 Q4 was the trap. 2023 Q1 was the start of the trend, right? 2024 Q1 was the consolidation. So let's assume that sorry, what did I just say? Let me repeat that. Q1 of 2024 was the start. Again, keep in mind that. Let me repeat that. Q1 of 2024 was the start of the trend, which is this particular box over here. Then again, going back into 2023 was the start, which is this particular box over here. That's what I'm trying to say. And we go into accumulation, or let's just say we go into consolidation. Remove this. Consolidation right here. After Q1, consolidation right here. After Q1. This is Q1. Again, guys, I can't draw with one hand. I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry. Pretty sucks. Q1. Boom. There we go. So now, what happened Q4? We pumped. Q4 was a big pump. So I'm expecting once Q3 ends, that when Q4 starts, which is going to be September, we're going to get a similar move to this particular quarter, man. That's all I'm trying to see. I want to see this particular trend over here happen once we get into September. Well, say we do go a little bit lower, and then we just start going all the way up. We go to that $85,000 to $95,000 range. That's all I'm looking for, guys. I'm sorry if this was a little sloppy. I have one hand. DMs are always open if you want to text or DM me for questions. Trade safe. Cheers. and hope you have a wonderful Sunday.